Hi, this is Shoshana Shear of BeAHappyMom.com and my online store found on creationsfromjerusalem.com. And in today's video, I want to pick up on the last video that I shared and explain why the gap between the last video and sharing a new one, and then share with some of the people who've asked where have I been, what have I been doing, and answer a couple of questions. So far it's all vague, and let's remove the veil and get on to explain some exciting things that are happening and potentials going on. So the first thing is to go back to my book, Healing Your Life Through Activity. It's an occupational therapist story because of the fact that I share a lot of my work experience in helping to explain about the profession of occupational therapy. And on around page 200 in the book, I start to explain about some areas that are creeping into occupational therapy and are expanding the profession. So to a certain extent, they're creeping in. To a certain extent, it's research taking place. It's meeting the needs of our clients. It's looking at what's happening in the world of health, of medicine, of education, and so on, and where are the needs, and how could we use our skills as occupational therapists to be able to assist our clients and potential clients to function effectively, to function to the optimum, to have meaningful lives, healthy lives, all wonderful, wonderful terms. And what does all this mean? Well, the first section of the areas that are expanding the profession of occupational therapy that I wrote about is coaching. And to a certain extent, coaching is not new to me. I've been doing a number of courses right from even before I became an occupational therapist, that has lots of correlation with what today is coaching. One of those is actually life skills training, which was part of my undergraduate training in South Africa. And once I moved countries, I discovered that life skills training was not as well recognized, not as well understood, or there'd been a little bit of a transition from life skills training to more coaching. Why the change of name? I haven't really found an answer to too much. But towards the end of the chapter within this book, I did say that I was hoping at some stage to be able to get to add coaching to my skill set. And one of the things behind the delay has been because coaching courses, for whatever reason, are really expensive. So I'm happy to say that I have managed to add the first coaching course from Jen Gash, who's an occupational therapist in the UK and specializes in coaching from an OT perspective. And she does a lot of coaching and occupational therapy together, I think, with her clients in the United Kingdom. And I went on from there to do another course, which I was starting to mention in my previous video, that I did a course in NLP training and then in strategic coaching. And some of the strategic coaching was a review of the NLP, and some of it was the coaching strategies and so on that I'd learned from Jen Gash and the models that she'd mentioned. So it was nice to have those refreshers. And while I was starting to look as to what should I be doing on my website to prepare it for having coaching on my website, because now I'll have to differentiate between the occupational therapy and the coaching. Sometimes for those clients who are here in Israel, I would be able to do occupational therapy and coaching combined, which is a really wonderful service, and how many occupational therapists are using it. But for some of my online clients, I would be doing coaching in and of itself without the occupational therapy for various licensing reasons. And so I needed to make that distinction on my website. And as a result, I've been doing some tweaking, some improving on my website, which led to my looking at a different theme. I'd come across a couple of difficulties. some things that I wanted to improve. And after testing quite a number of themes, I came across using the Hestia theme, which I really liked in the beginning. And now I've come across a snag. I'm not so fond of what's happening in the footer of my website at the moment. So I have to do some research to find out whether I can remove the information coming in the header going into the footer. And if that can't be removed, then I can have that footer space. It's quite valuable space, and there are a number of exciting things I could do with that space. If I can't remove repeating the menu of the header in the footer, then I'll have to be onto another theme. In the interim, while working on the website, I did mention in my last video that I've been sourcing and researching a number of ways to improve earning online and leveling up one's income, ways to be able to have some opportunities on the side that I could bring in either some passive income or do some other active income, other ways of earning. One of those that I started researching was selling or reselling on eBay. And yes, there are two opportunities that a number of people do: selling, where they have new products that they're selling. A number of people are doing reselling of secondhand products, which is something that eBay is very good at, a very good platform for doing that. And in researching that, it's been some time since I did selling on eBay, and so I went to do some research and discovered some amazing YouTube videos and some good channels to be following that took me off on a tangent, a little bit of a detour. And from those, I discovered that there are some people also doing drop shipping on eBay, which has been quite an eye-opener. And that got me to thinking of a couple of other things for my online store, my Creations from Jerusalem. So let's have a look at a couple of potentials with eBay. The first thing was, I thought that I do have some items either with books or with items that I've made, or certain of the items from occupational therapy from clients that I was working, and I've changed a little bit. I'm focusing quite a lot more with working with women than I was with certain of the children. I do still offer handwriting, fine motor coordination, and hand-eye coordination, that kind of work, and reading, obviously, and reading and the writing go together. That kind of work I do still do with children, but any of the work required for mat work or certain of the difficulties I was working with in the past, for certain reasons, I'm letting go of that, and I'm looking into doing certain other work. So I had some items I was wanting to sell, and in researching how to price them, how to list them, all sorts of details, I came across a lovely channel of somebody who, as far as I remember, was a teacher and has now got to be doing reselling on eBay virtually full-time. I think it's full-time, if I'm not mistaken, or she's selling on eBay together with Amazon, something like that. In any event, the tip that I learned from her was that for a successful store, one needs to be having approximately 400 items on one store. So that got me thinking, what could I do to get a lot more items into my own store? Not necessarily the items that I was considering reselling on eBay, but new items that I'm making, or items that we designing. And we have designs that we're printing onto either t-shirts or mugs or cushion covers and so on. And I was looking how to improve that. So that got me thinking, together with the discovering somebody saying that it's possible to do drop shipping on eBay. And those two together, I got doing more research. So what have I come up with? So far, another potential and another problem. Let's take the problem first. The problem is that eBay really is set up for America and for England. I don't know if there's a different eBay for Australia. I didn't look into that. the two eBays that I was looking at were for England and for America. And since I'm located in Israel, I wanted to know if there's an Israel eBay based in Israel. And although there are a number of sellers from Israel on the American eBay, which is the .com, and on the ebay.uk, there isn't an Israel-based eBay. So there came my first difficulty because of the fact that shipping is going to be different. eBay for America or for England has really good shipping options within America or within England, and the pricing is very, very good. So now, coming as somebody from Israel, I was coming across some options or some difficulties, some hurdles. Some of the difficulties were that the shipping cost is more than what I see people being prepared to pay. Some say that don't worry about that, it's the buyer's responsibility, they should be paying the shipping. But I'm noticing a lot of people are wanting free shipping, and although one of the services that I looked into and I explored, I was looking into what their rates were for shipping. They said to me, well, why don't you offer free shipping? And I said to them, but if my product, for example, costs $10 and the shipping price is $18, how do I do free shipping? Who covers that $18? Because I'm still needing the money to come in to cover the cost of the product. And then it's nice to have some kind of profit margin, and eBay is going to take a fee and PayPal is going to take a fee. Where do I get the additional income from to cover this shipping expense? So that was a hurdle. And another hurdle in exploring shipping options was that a number of the UPS, the DHL, and FedEx from Israel, one needs to be able to prove that you're going to be able to have a guaranteed certain amount of sales every month before they're going to sign up. Now, if you're a beginner starting selling on a certain platform, it's very difficult to prove how many sales you're going to make. It quite often takes time for a store to get indexed, or for SEO to happen, or for people to respond to whatever it is your product is. So I wasn't prepared to take a financial gamble like that I would be outlaying thousands of shekels every month without knowing whether I'm going to have any sales. So that was a little bit of a risk that I wasn't prepared to make. And I went looking at other options. The Israel Post itself, there is an option for registered post, insured post, and then there's a new shipping option from Israel called eco something. I haven't really discovered exactly what this service is. What I'm concerned about with the registered post is, although one gets a tracking number for those parcels and packages, that once they leave Israel, it can tell you the item has left Israel, it can tell you when it gets to whatever country it's going to, and then it seems to disappear off the radar to a certain extent. We did send out a couple of gifts to friends of ours around the Jewish New Year, around Rosh Hashanah, and in tracking, we had tracking numbers for all of them, and in following up and seeing did the items arrive on time, it was quite amusing and quite alarming at the same time to discover that the items had arrived at their destination, that our friends had received them before the tracking number could be able to locate where the item was. The one said that it had only just left Israel. The other said that it had arrived in America, but it hadn't yet got to a post office. And neither of those details were true. It had actually arrived already at the destination at our friends. So we were very glad to hear that it had arrived at our friends, but rather alarmed and concerned as to how do we track an item, and what's the point of having a tracking number and paying for a tracking number if we're not actually tracking the item completely. So that's a concern, and I've not been happy with a shipping option. So I'm still researching what other alternatives there are. As I say, I did find two options that do provide the the quality of service to make sure that the item will get to its destination and the person will receive it. It has a tracking number. That part was fine. What I'm concerned about is that they're not giving me pricing details that I need in order to be able to list what the shipping price would be for potential buyers. So until I find a solution to that, I'm reluctant to do more listing on eBay right now. In the meantime, in doing some more research, I looked into what options, what other alternatives could there be to get around this shipping issue. One thing that's really nice about drop shipping is that quite a number of the drop shipping, the platforms for the merchants, the opportunities for doing drop shipping, quite a number of them do have free shipping, which does get around the shipping cost problem. So I've been exploring adding more items to my online store. Something else that I came across in updating my website of the Be a Happy Mom and in using the Hestia is I was quite delighted to discover that Hestia is WooCommerce friendly. It means that it supports WooCommerce. I can put a store onto my Be a Happy Mom website as well. And that's got me thinking of a number of other options and opportunities of things that I could do with that website. So that's giving me more ideas. While I'm researching and looking into what will I do, a lot of research taking place. And actually, with this research, I will just backtrack a minute again to the eBay to say that those people who say that you can, if you're wanting to make some extra money on the side, just put things up on eBay and go for it and you'll get some income coming in and that'll help to fund whatever else it is that you're needing. Whether to improve some funds coming in, just sell on eBay. So there are potentials with that. Here come two snags or two hurdles. Aside from the shipping, the one is that doing the appropriate research to find out the details required, suitable pricing, where else it's being available, what the competition is, all the necessary research that has to be done to make sure that you're going to be listing a product effectively, and also the time taken to list a product effectively. With all of that information that goes up, the problem is it's really, really time consuming. If you're a person at home, whatever it is, it's the reason that you're at home, you have some time spare and your expenses are paid and you have time available to spend time listing is fine and a pleasure and it's doable. When you're trying to improve services and you're wanting to bring in additional income, to have to spend days on end learning and listing and so on can be a huge chunk of time that takes away from something productive that you're doing. So that's hurdle number one that I've not yet got around. And I do recognize that some of that is just a learning curve. And once you've mastered how to do the listing, it should be that it goes a lot more quickly. However, measuring items, packaging them correctly in advance, weighing them, taking the size, getting all the details down, the pricing, as I say, all of that is time consuming. So eBay is not the smoothest, easiest thing to be working with. There's a lot of details that goes into it. And that brings me to my next hurdle, and that is that just a week or so after I'd started listing, I was delighted to know that I could list 10 items, have a look at how they went, and then move on as hopefully sales improve. eBay would work with me that I could progress to, I forget if it's 30 or 50 items that I could get to be listing in a month. The problem is, in the interim, all these problems, in the interim, there have been changes on eBay. And in doing research as to how to learn to use eBay correctly, I'm upset to be discovering a number of glitches. And these glitches get me concerned. So at the moment, although I do have 6 items listed on eBay, I'm a little bit holding back before listing many more items to see what's going to happen with these updates, and will they iron out, will they be able to rectify or resolve or find a solution for the glitches. I really hope that there won't be glitches before I start wanting to do selling. In the meantime, I am looking at ways to improve and expand my online store, and having discovered that with the Hestia theme, I can now be adding a store onto my Be a Happy Mom. I have a number of ideas to be adding to the Be a Happy Mom website, and with that, I'm considering doing a lot more. I have mentioned in the past potentially doing more demonstration videos, and now seeing the potential to actually bring products into my store, not just affiliate, but actually selling the products, which means that I might be able to have more products available myself. A number of options, number of thoughts that I'm toying with. And in the meantime, I have some more work to get to in fixing up and improving my store. And I'm interested to see what's going on eBay, whether those glitches have been resolved. And I do hope to be finding a solution to the shipping, because I do think that there's potential of things that I could be selling on eBay alongside separately to my store. So lots of things happening, lots of excitement. It is the new year, and the new year has new beginnings. And so I'll leave this video with saying to you, or asking you, what have you set as your goals for this new year? What are your goals? Are there any things that you'd like assistance with? Are there any specific articles you'd like, or demonstration videos, as I mentioned? If there's something particular that you'd like to see happening in this channel, please do put a question in the comments below, and I'll be happy to answer that, or be in touch with me via my website. And where I'm able to, I can put links also in the description below. I'll be putting links where you'll be able to see the improvements and the changes with my online store, with my Be a Happy Mom website. You can see the start of our eBay if you like, and some other things that are going on. And I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Let's hope that it won't be a month before the next video. Ciao for now. See you again in the next video. Hi, this is Shoshana Shia of beahappymom.com, and I want to thank you for watching the video all the way through. If you're seeing this clip, that means you've watched the entire video, and I really appreciate your having done so. If you've enjoyed this video, please do put a comment or a question in the comments below. Subscribe to this channel, share it with your friends, and do remember to press like or to press that little bell down at the bottom so that you can have notification of further videos of this nature coming out. We have many more interviews that we're planning, and some other videos, some of them demonstration videos, a range of other kinds of videos. And I'd ask you also to please become a member on my Patreon or on the membership levels of my website, beahappymom.com. Your membership helps me to be able to spend the time in the videoing, in the interviewing, in research, in all the different phases involved in bringing you quality videos. And we have many ideas to improve the quality of the videos. We're improving all the time as we progress in what we're doing online to bring some information to you, the general public, fellow OTs, those interested in occupational therapy. And so thank you so much, and thank you for being a part. Do subscribe to this channel, and see you in the next video.